Well, hello. It's JC on the ones, twos, threes, and fours, and this is Sportslogic. Hello, I gotta come back. So hold on, pause the music for a second because we really gotta talk about this. Number one, I made the announcement over and over on TikTok. That will be the place for my hot takes and opinions and stuff like that. For more structured content like I'm about to do right now, which is the first football weekend winners and losers, shockers and hot takes. I will be talking exclusively on this. Um, so yeah, that's the plan for it. Is this will have all the big stuff, and when I'm in the truck and I'm uploading a video or I'm just speaking on my mind quickly after a huge trade or any big news that's come out as of late, it will be directly on TikTok. So TikTok will have all of the smaller content. YouTube will have more structured stuff like right now. Hey, my name is Javin Canada and this is Sports Logic. All right, let's get to it. It's the first football weekend of the year. Last weekend was just college. This weekend was college and NFL. I loved both of them. I'm gonna put my cover on because I'm pretty cold. I don't care what you say. I got winners, losers, shockers, and hot takes. First of all, the winners. Oregon. Good on you for beating Ohio State. I'll get back to you. Raiders, good win against Baltimore. You kept me awake last night. That was a crazy game. I thought y'all were clearly gonna lose that game, but hey, I thought y'all were gonna kick a field goal and that was gonna be it, but they didn't leave any doubt. They went out there and they played their butts off. AFC and NFC West going 4-0. Nice on both divisions. Wow, just amazing. That's amazing. Arkansas beating Texas. Good job. Mind you, I'm going to switch between college and NFL, so relax. Anyways, New Orleans traveling defense. That was a good game against Green Bay. I'll come back to you, Green Bay. Arizona thrashing Tennessee. Cincinnati, good win. Good overtime victory against Minnesota. I like it. Joe Burrow was really balling out, and I liked that Jamar Chase really stepped up and really played hard. I really like that. And Iowa beating Iowa State. That's a really big game. And the fans returning for the first big weekend back in NFL stadiums. The Rams and Raiders stadiums look amazing. They look, man, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money in those stadiums. I'm just saying, that's a lot of money in those stadiums. Anyways, for every winner, there's a loser, and there are plenty of losers in this one. Losers, Texas future plans in the SEC, bro. You lost to Arkansas. Ew, you lost to Arkansas. Tough, too. That's not even, man. And you want to play in the SEC in a few years? See, they're not going to baby y'all like the Big 12 did. They're going to straight bully you until you become a really good football team. Clay Helton fired 2 days after losing against Stanford. Wow. I mean, USC, all out of sorts. Y'all are really giving up this season before the season even really starts. And I understand that it's Stanford, but come on, man. That's 2 games into the season and you just, hey, he's fired. Like, this was a long time coming at this point. Hey, Ohio State, I said I would get back to you, didn't I? Losing against Oregon, good job. Woo, good job. Hey, and that's an early loss. So if they lose again, you're out. You're already out of the mix for the national championship, which means it's a toss-up in the Big Ten. I really don't know who could even take that spot if it was possible to take that spot. I really think that there could be 2 SEC teams in there. Florida State losing versus Jacksonville State. Wow. Jacksonville State? I thought Jacksonville was a city. Anyways, trust in Notre Dame. How do you almost lose against Toledo? Terrible. Pac-12. I mean, besides Oregon winning, you had Arizona State, SC, and Cal lose those late games. Cal lost all those late games, and that's crazy. That's crazy in and of itself. NFC North went 0-4. Green Bay was so bad. I don't know. And that's not even the fault of Detroit. Detroit's a rebuilding football team. You're facing a possible Super Bowl contender in the Niners. Minnesota lost against Cincinnati. Green Bay got smacked against New Orleans. In Chicago, bro, put out Justin Fields. Why did you draft him? We believe in Andy Dalton. Put out Justin Fields. Put him out there. Jeez. And speaking of, people aren't trusting Matt Nagy because of that. Anyways, Jacksonville problems in Jags organization. There are coaches that don't like Urban Meyer. There are players that don't like Urban Meyer. It seems to be centered around a same constituent issue with Urban Meyer. So we'll see how that goes. New York Giants. What you get all this talent for if you were just going to get beat by Teddy Bridgewater and the Denver Broncos? Atlanta drafted Kyle Pitts and didn't use him in a loss versus Philly. That's crazy in and of itself. That's crazy. You only score like 3 or 6 points. 32, Justin Hurts, 32 points? Man. Whew. I had a few shockers too. How bad Green Bay looked. That was the late game. That was America's game of the week. He just looked out of it. That defense was smothering him, and he looked out of it. There were some plays where it was just, hey, I'm just gonna air this out. Like, there's no receiver there. There's a bunch of defenders. There's no receiver. Forcing a lot of passes. And people are actually saying now that him playing so bad against New Orleans could be him tossing the season for Green Bay. And I won't believe that until they play the Lions on Monday Night Football, and I'll get back to you on that one. But if that's the case, then yeah. No, I don't think that's it. I don't think that's the reason, but that's something to look into. Anyways, how good Detroit looked at the end. Now, mind you, in the middle of the game, it's the Niners and everybody, and Okuda looked bad and he got injured. So people were upset with him, and especially because he came off a bad season. Now it's his second season. They were hoping he'd do better with a new regime. It wasn't looking good, and now he's torn his Achilles tendon and he's out for season, which could end up looking really bad for him. So that in and of itself is something I'm just not gonna mess with. However, them scoring multiple 2-point conversions, multiple touchdowns with Hawkinson and Swift, and Jared Goff getting passes downfield is something to be optimistic about. Now, the big issue is the defense. That's the biggest issue. The biggest issue is the defense. You have to build that defense up. I don't care what people say about, but Jared Goff is this, Jared Goff is that. We need some more receivers. I don't care about the defense. What has to get built after this season is the defense. I don't care what the offense. Sorry about that. I don't care about the offense. What has to get built after the season is the defense. We'll come back to that later. Anyways, where was I? Baltimore's going to have a long season. That is true. They lost multiple running backs for the season. I don't know how. That's crazy. They lost their starter. They lost their backup. They lost their third string running back. They had to sign on a bunch of practice squad players. So a lot of guys that don't know the team and don't know the offense and don't know what run is a run play and so on and so forth. That looks bad. No matter how you shake it. Plus, people are really starting to figure out Lamar Jackson. So that's also another issue. Arizona thrashing Tennessee. That was a game I did not see coming in the slightest. I had bet on Tennessee because Tennessee has this offense. Tennessee has this defense. Tennessee has all the components to be a really good football team. And Kyler Murray just went out there and bro, no one knew what to do against him. He was just running circles around the defense and throwing the ball wherever he wanted to throw it, and it was just resulting in big touchdowns. That is, wow. Teddy Bridgewater balling in Denver versus New York. Didn't see that coming. Didn't see that coming at all. Him leaving the Saints and, continuing his career, people didn't even think he would get a starting job again, let alone play on a football team. But here he is versus the New York Giants, who added all this talent, and that was a shocking performance. They beat New York by 2 scores. That's not a good game by New York. Jameis 5 touchdown game against the Packers. Yeah, I said Dak. Why I should say Dad? I don't know. I don't know why it says Dad. All right, 5 touchdown game against the Pack. That was an amazing performance, especially with them dealing with Hurricane Ida, playing in Jacksonville, and having to figure out everything as you go along. Even right now, I just heard from sources that they are dealing with another COVID outbreak. So now you got to throw COVID into the mix. It's a whole ordeal. So that's just wow. But to win against the Packers, to thrash the Packers like that, that's shocking. And Dak attacking the best team in the NFC. Thursday night game, started season against Tom Brady. Dak looked amazing. That was an amazing performance. I got some hot takes. Negativity against Lions for Stafford. Look, I understand that the Lions are bad. The Lions are a bad football team. The Lions have been a bad football team. It's not all on the Lions, though. A lot of it is on the ownership, because you hired this coach, because you hired this GM, because you hired this president or this president or this president of operations for the entire team. It looks bad when you sit there and they don't get the talent around Stafford. They don't get the coaching around Stafford. They don't get players that can really help Stafford out. They just kind of, they say stuff, and then now it's, well, he finally took up for himself and got out of Detroit. I mean, he never really helped Detroit outside of his stats. You just really showed that you were a good talent. You could have showed that you were a great leader by stepping up to the front office and saying, hey, instead of drafting this guy, draft this guy. Like, be in that situation. Be that guy that could, instead of just running the course and hoping that they draft right and hoping that they get the right coaches, how about you step up to the plate and make it so this doesn't happen, where the team is literally falling apart now. Detroit has no defense, 2 receivers, which one of them is a running back and the other is a tight end. I don't know who their receivers are. And they have 0 defense. Now, mind you, there was a lot of good defensive plays by the Lions Sunday, but still, or actually it's Tuesday, my bad. Sunday, but still, it still just looks bad, and it just looked bad. That's all I gotta say about that. It looks bad for, Stafford to go, and he's in LA. And people are just like, well, the Lions didn't really try to help him. Well, I mean, Stafford didn't really try to help himself. So, hot take. I don't care. Raiders have to win or Chucky is gone. I really think that's true. And I don't like that Mariota got injured already to start the season. It puts a lot of pressure on Derek Carr to win. So, we'll see how that plays out. But I really think that he's gone. John Gruden, he's gone if they don't make the playoffs this year. A good start to beat Baltimore, but you got to do more than that to make the playoffs. Anyways, injuries are in the first week of the fall to preseason. A lot of big injuries this weekend. Multiple torn ACLs, multiple torn Achilles tendons, multiple quad injuries, arm injuries, all that stuff. Just, bro, why do you have preseason? Why do you even have this? 3-4 weeks of playing football or playing preseason football where they play super hard in August all year, only for the first week to happen and everyone's injured. A lot of people are injured, catching COVID because of travel. Like, why? Why do you even have this? Like I've said multiple times, I'm at a point now The NFL should do one solid month of training camp and then just start the season on the first weekend of August. Just start the season then. That way you're weeks ahead, and players that are already playing hard don't feel like they've missed the season if they get injured in, say, week 4. So, man, I'm just saying. Start the season in August. Done with cupcake games in college football. Yes, enough. 72-0, 65-0, 65-3, 62-3. I'm really done with it. It's pointless at this point. Some of the games are close when it's an FBS versus FCS team, but that's only a minute amount. Real powerhouses aren't even letting these teams get close, so that's just bad. USC and Florida State are dumpster fires. How about actually rebuilding your brand instead of constantly living in the past? I really think that USC has been kind of a problem since Pete Carroll left. I just heard it on PTI on ESPN. Shout out to ESPN. It's like, no. But USC, man, I mean, they haven't been good in a long time, like up to Alabama levels in a long time. It's been a few years since Pete Carroll was the head coach, and he was a good head coach for that team, who ended up, hey, I'm just gonna go to Seattle and hopefully y'all take care of yourselves. And ever since then, I don't know who these guys are that they're hiring on, but they look terrible. I don't know. In Florida State, Jacksonville State. I don't know, man. It's been bad. It's been terrible. You're not getting the right talent out there. You got quarterbacks like in the last one season, getting these terrible injuries where their leg is about to get amputated. Like, what is this? No, this is bad. This is just bad. It's a dumpster fire at this point. Florida State's game last weekend against Notre Dame was actually pretty entertaining, but Jacksonville State beat you. And it's how they beat you. They beat you on like a Hail Mary pass with like a few seconds left. You don't know how to play defense when that happens? You don't know that they were going to air it out? I don't get it. That was the first week. That was the first weekend. That was a lot. Big games next weekend. We got Michigan State against Miami. We got Michigan. Hold on. Michigan against who? I did not mean to do that. Yeah, we got Michigan who just beat Washington. They're playing someone. I forget who they're playing. Why do you do this? All right. How worried should struggling programs be? Yeah, Ohio State should be worried. If they end up losing another game, it's going to be a while before they get another chance. So, there's that. Let's see what this week offers. We got big games, Northern Illinois versus Michigan. People were questioning Michigan because all they were doing that entire time was just running the football instead of throwing it. That looks bad. Notre Dame versus Purdue. Keep your eyes open for that one. Alabama versus Florida. Automatically rooting for Florida. Tired of Alabama. Everyone's tired of Alabama. If you can pull off a big upset, that would be nice to start like week 3 of the season. Let's go down the list. Auburn versus Penn State. Ooh, that's something to watch. That's SEC Big Ten again, and that's something to watch out for. BYU versus Arizona State, and Michigan State versus Miami. Those are the games you should be paying attention to in college football. Now, let's flip the script for NFL. Let's go week 2. Giants of Washington in 2 days. Actually, technically today. This day is over, so technically in a day. Then Bengals Bears. That's the game to look forward to. I really think Andy Dalton gives up his starting gig to Justin Fields in that game. I think that it happens that game. You're not losing to the Bengals and then being like, oh yeah, we're gonna keep playing Andy Dalton. No, like that's not. Texans at Browns. That's a game to look forward to. If maybe the Texans can keep it going, or the Browns can just steamroll them. Colts Rams. That's a game to look forward to. Yep. Niners Eagles. That's a game to look forward to. Raiders Steelers, Saints Panthers. Those are games to look forward to. Kyler Murray playing so good against Tennessee now faces a Minnesota Vikings defense. Cowboys Chargers. That's going to be a big game. Titans Seahawks. Sorry. That's a game to look forward to. Chiefs Ravens. And Lions Packers will be on Monday Night Football, of course. My team, the Lions. I root for the Lions. That being said, I'm going to do a lot more of this, which is just winners and losers of games and stuff. I might be creating more shows just to get some opinions out there out of the way. Sorry that this took so long, but hey, it is what it is. I got to put out more content anyways, especially because the NFL season is back up and the NBA season is coming up. Shout out to the Tigers. I really hope that the Detroit Shock are brought back to the WNBA. My name is Javin Canada. This has been Sportslogic, and I'll see you guys next week. Later, or sometime this week. Latest.